Hey, we're here with Yoruba Richen and Lacey Schwartz Delgado, both Firelight Doc Lab alum. Thanks so much for joining us here at Virtual Sundance.
It's great
Thank
to
you
be
for
here.
having us.
Yes, we've talked to so many filmmakers, but you guys actually have an interesting story in that you just finished a film and put it out, How It Feels to Be Free, an American Masters film, but you guys actually met in the Doc Lab.
That is correct. When we were both making our first film, yep, we were both mentees.
Amazing. And so you had talked, sort of connected there, talked and talked, stayed in touch. How did the idea come about? I think you were reading a book, Yoruba, right? Reading the book and then brought it to Lacey, is that right?
Yeah, but even before that, we had connected. And you know what? We actually even met each other before Firelight Media. Remember, we were at the what was then the National Black Program Consortium, which is now Black Public Media. They had a meeting to get together folks who were, in production, early production, applying for ITVS, and we met there. It was the first time I laid eyes on Lacey, and then. We both became part of Firelight, and I think we just became friends. And I found out that they had a production company, and for having Black producers can be a rarity and such an important thing. And so I was very excited about their production company.
And I remember, I have a very strong, distinct memory of at a time when Yoruba and I were like both negotiating a certain kind of rights. I remember being on Amtrak on like one of those car and having to stand between the two cars, walking through an issue with Yoruba. And she was just like the mutual sharing was just so right on. And as we all know in this community, that is gold. And just thinking, wow, like the connection is there, collaborating would be everything.
Nothing beats the Firelight email listserv where we all go through and collaborate with each other and give people tips and all of that. So that sort of reminds me of that. You guys, now the film How It Feels to Be Free has been out for about 2 weeks now. It'll be streaming on the American Masters site until February 16th, and then will be available on Amazon Prime. What has the feeling of letting go of that baby into the world felt like for you?
Well, I will say that it was a very big baby in a lot of ways. It took a lot of gestation period for it to be born. So as you mentioned, I read the book. Lacey and I had been talking about collaborating on some different projects. When I read the book, I knew I wanted to make this film, and I brought it to Lacey and Moret, who run their production company, Truth Aid. And that was the beginning of a journey. And that was about 5 years ago. And we, optioned the book. We hooked up with PBS, which hooked us up with American Masters, and Michael Canner and ITVS, which we had both worked with. And then the last piece of it was Yap Films, who Lacey and Moret met the head of that company, a Toronto-based company, who helped us bring in the rest of the production funding. And I'll just say it feels great for it to be out in the world.
For me, it feels great. And the team is so incredible, but it's surprising me like how validating it feels, actually, not just as a filmmaker, but as a woman, a Black woman, to see these kind of nuanced stories be told in this way. I've obviously seen this film quite a bit. I've seen it in different stages. We've been so engrossed in it, but there's something about it being out in the world and that level of nuanced conversation being happen around Black female performers in a way that I didn't realize how much I needed that personally. So I think that's been the surprise to me in reaction to the film, is my own reaction to it actually as a viewer, not just as actually as a filmmaker.
And then, of course, we premiered at the week of the historic inauguration, with Kamala Harris as taking the reins of vice president. I mean, the timing is incredible. So it's everything happens for a reason. Timing happens for a reason. So it's been a really incredible experience, and it continues to be.
Totally. And our category tonight is resilience, as we've had to be so resilient over the last year. And, when I was watching the film, I kept thinking about that. I mean, just the fact that these Black women, really fought to make sure that, their voice was heard, that what they actually wanted to say was heard, and that they were given the platform that they wanted. They fought for that. And it's such a beautiful film and such an homage to those women. So thank you so much for making it. Now, we're not at Sundance this year. We're at a virtual Sundance. I know you guys have been to Sundance before. What's one thing that you're missing by not being there this year? And what's one thing you're happy to miss?
Well, I'll start. I mean, of course, this is probably what everybody misses, seeing people that I haven't, don't always get to see, being able to be in the same room, meeting new people. Amazing connections always happen at Sundance. And so definitely miss that. I guess I don't miss the freezing cold. Yeah, that's probably the thing I don't miss.
Amen. You, Lacey?
I mean, same. It's hard to say what you don't miss because we've all been deprived of so much in so many ways. Like the opportunity to be at that Firelight party, really throwing down, is such good energy every year. But I guess if anything, I don't miss maybe some of the hustle. It's incredible to see that people are still out there creating and connecting, even when we are removed from each other and those kind of consolidated spaces. So I like the fact that creativity continues even without quite as much of the hustle.
And y'all know Firelight has the best party at Sundance every year. And we'll have the best party even if it is virtual this week here. So what's one red carpet must have, whether that is physical or virtual? I'll take one from each of you.
I mean, no doubt, and I think you and I are both killing it. You gotta have, for virtual red carpets, you have to have statement earrings. I mean, that's the way to drive it home.
Yes, and I love yours.
And I'll say for virtual red carpet too, some powerful lipstick, if that's what you're into, is a must-have as well.
You're giving me
must-have work well too.
You're Fenty Rouge right now.
Exactly.
Well, thank you guys so much for joining me. It's so wonderful to see you virtually. Thanks for the community that you bring to Firelight. And best of luck with How It Feels to Be Free. Again, available to stream until February 16th on the American Master site and then on Amazon Prime afterwards. Congratulations. You guys are an inspiration.
Thank you. Thank you so much.